Sorry about that. All right. You're the lady I'm sending messages to. So I wake up this morning with Bubby, my son, coming in to get me out of bed. I run and see what he needs, and then I walk back into my room because my husband worked a 24-hour shift. As I walk in, I see Layla, my oldest. She opens her eyes just a little bit, and then she opens her eyes like wide. And I was like, she's like, Mommy, I had a dream. And I just was like, okay, she never tells me she had a dream. Like, at this intensity, I'm just going to turn on my phone and record this, like video record. Like, set it on my bed, video record. She then tells me this. Man, I just wish I had it raw. She said that in her dream, it was just me, her, and her dad in the house. It was, all the other kids were gone. She said there was a knock on the door. Daddy went to the door to see who it was, but Mommy and Layla already knew who it was. She said it was Jesus. And Daddy was asking Jesus questions and talking to Jesus at the door because he didn't know who it was. And then he let Jesus in our house. And Layla said we showed him all around. And then we took him into my room, her room, she said. And when she went into her room, she said, I saw God. She said, God, I know no one's supposed to see God. I know people can't see God, but I saw God. And I talked to him, but I can't remember what I talked to him about. And she said that they were kind of afraid. She was kind of afraid, like after she'd talking to me about it, she said she was kind of afraid. Hey, buddy, go back inside. I'll come in a minute. Let me eat my yogurt. Do this real quick. So I was like thinking as she's talking, I'm like, Jesus knocked on the door of our house. Layla and I knew who it was. Daddy didn't know who it was. Daddy asked him questions, finally let him in the door. Because then he knew who it was. And then they went to her bedroom and she saw God in her room and she talked to God. And I was like, there's so many ways that I could think about this. If Jesus knocked on the door of your home and you had a little child that had a disease, you would let that child, you would bring Jesus to that child and you'd be like, touch her, heal her. Like, touch her. We believe you can heal and you will heal her. Touch her. That's what we would do. And I was like, you know, kids are most proud of their room. And I made them clean their room yesterday, and I wasn't the best mom. But I was like, and I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I just want to be a better mom to my kids and not get mad at them and yell at them and everything else. Anyway, that was my own thing that I was dealing with. So to have her wake up and say that was huge. But there's more. Aldo worked 24 hours yesterday. Before he went to work, the night before, he was drunk, talking to me, because he talks when he's drunk. And he said, if Jesus would just come to me in a dream so I could ask him questions, then I would. Because we were talking about his belief or his lack of belief in God. Because I'm just like, my gosh, you always argue against the Bible, against God. Like, you never take it as, like, you never have faith. You just don't put your faith and trust in him. I'm like, he goes, but I need something more. I need someone has to research this, and somebody has to answer my questions. I'm like, okay, so the creation that God made, you'll listen to, but the creator who made everything, you won't. And I picked up the Bible, I'm like, and I told him exactly what I tell everybody, like, about the Word of God. The fact that he said if Jesus would come to me in a dream the night before, and my daughter has a dream of Jesus knocking on the door of our house and Daddy not knowing who it was, and she was nowhere around for that conversation. The fact that that happened is miraculous. Okay, so the Bible verse about, and I looked it up, but it said something about people will prophesy, old men will dream dreams, people will see visions when his spirit is released. I can't remember. I know it's an Old Testament verse. So I said, you need to call your dad. After I prayed with Layla, because she started to get afraid. And I'm like, okay, we talked about that. We prayed. So she called her dad and she told him her dream. I don't know what he said. He hasn't talked to me. And then we called her dad's grandma and told her the dream. And now I'm doing this on here so I can forward this thing out if I don't write about it, because this is huge.